Shalom, shalom. Just want to take this time out in order to reach out to everybody, give another edifying, I guess, lesson, or just to inform individuals a little more on what, what's the truth, what's been hidden from us for so long. The topic of this title is going to be the origin of the 12 tribes of Israel. And first and foremost, I want to say Tawarat to Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shah, Uven Barakata, Barak HaKadosh, Elo Yakarat, Ladir, all my heart. Most definitely, basically, this is just going through the particular, the downfall of Judah. So I'm not going to talk a lot on it. Just want to automatically remind everybody, like and subscribe. Well, you don't have to subscribe, but like, at least like. Well, yeah. So subscribe if you haven't. But anyway, we got different things, like I said before, which our nationality or who we are as a people has been, erased from us for generations. So basically, my particular topic: who was the 12 tribes of Israel? Who were those people? Where did they go? Are they still around? Why did they fall? Then when we look at some of the particular reasons as to why they did fall, we could actually draw that to, the curses of the covenant and different things that, our kings weren't doing during those particular times when we were as a nation. So it's like we go back and look at different words, written, words of the Father. And right here in Genesis, out of the King James Version, we see clearly when chosen people, not like saying, I'm feeling vibrant in spirit, so therefore I must be chosen. It's not like that in certain causes or situations by the Father, so don't forget that. But Genesis 10. Now, these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem and Ham, for individuals with color. And ethnicity, Shemitic. I'll say the appropriate word for that. And Japheth is supposed to be known for the light races. He was the lightest out of the kids, or out of those three sons. And the sons of Japheth were Gomer and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshach, and Tyrus. And these particular, like I said, nations, they basically individuals like to draw to that they're the dominant ones of European descent. Just to be put it, point blank. And the sons of Gomez I won't go through that one right there. Basically, I'm going to, and the sons of Ham. Well, basically, hold on, to end it off, like I said before, with Japheth's sons and everything, and we see it right here, clear as day, chapter 4, verse 5. But these were the exiles. But these were the exiles of the Gentiles divided in their lands, everyone after his tongue, after their families and their nations. So, you got Russians and Germans and Britons and stuff like to these particular nations. And the sons of Ham, Kush, Mizraim, and Phut, and Canaan. And these were the sons of Kush. And then when you go to these are the sons of Kush, basically these individuals right here, excuse me, Salafi. Anyway, but excuse me. But these individuals here, it's offspring, his grandchildren, and so on. It's different individuals like he just named, that actually are the descendants of Canaan. And Ham is the grandfather or great grandfather, but basically, yeah. So then we go into unto Shem, also the father. Let's pause right there with that one. We got Eber right here. So with Eber right there, basically it's saying that Eber, that's where you get the word Hebrew comes from, the word Eber. Basically, that's an individual that's showing that particular brute bloodline. And the brother of Japheth, the elder, even to him were children born. The children of Shem, Elam, Asher, and Esphenidah, and Lud, and Aram, or Aram. And it goes through the different bloodlines of Shem and his children, his sons, it goes into his grandchildren. So, and unto Abram were born two sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided. And his brother's name was Joktan. Then it goes into Joktan's offspring. And keep in mind that when you go into Ham's descendant, Nimrod and all of them, the Egyptians' civilization is on and, it's going. All right, so then these are the sons of Shem, after their families, after their tongue, in their lands, after their nations. And I keep pointing out the word nations because when you go into the nations, you look at the different individuals that were formulating in different societies. I'll go into that. The different societies of the Shemitic bloodline within the Hebraic religion that was targeted for a reason. But anyway. The different things that caused all of this to go down anyway, it's like, the Messiah prophesied about when he spoke. This is, like I said before, Luke, read from verse 21-20, and this is the Messiah talking, I believe, so until I actually read it, But, and when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with enemies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh, meaning that it's hand. And when you see Jerusalem composed or encompassed, everybody around with armies, that's the Romans, that's the day that, the southern kingdom of Israel fell, or, Judah, King David, all of the, the rest of the 12 tribes, because the northern nation had already been conquered by the Samaritans. Basically, different things in that particular era when they didn't actually live by the law, statutes, and commandments, different curses was placed upon them, man. Just like you heard the Messiah speak. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. It was already written, it was already foreseen. He was trying to tell them, woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck, meaning, you're nursing a baby. In those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, and a wrath upon these people. So it's like different things was going to transpire to where it was going to lead to the destruction of Jerusalem and everything that we see, or everything that we knew then of Jerusalem, of our land, of our freedoms. It was going to lead to this. That's what it was. That's the day that the Messiah was talking about. 70 BC or 80, I'm sorry. In an attempt at definitively eliminating the Jews, in an attempt at definitively eliminating the Jews' connection to the land. The Romans renamed Judea to Palestine. It's Palestine today. The place is Palestine. A word believed to derive from the Philistines and people from Crete, which 1,000 years earlier roamed the Mediterranean and of Judah. Jews still live in this area, or the area though, and less than 100 years later, they were once allowed access to Jerusalem. So basically they was able to go back to that particular area. And when I speak of the time of when it was divided, the northern part, which was named Israel, went into captivity by the Samaritans. It was carried off. They was incorporated in the slave trade and stuff too, but they was shipped. They basically served down there, like, you know, Saudi Arabia and different things like that as slaves before they started selling them to Yehudah, the people of the book. And Judea is here. This is Judea. And when Judea fell, all of it was gone. Jerusalem. So Judea also controlled the whole region when they was one. Then they get right here. They got divided in faith, and customs and traditions. Ones kept the commandments. They kept hold to the covenant, and then these wanted to worship golden idols and different. They wanted to create their own God, sort of, and images of a God or something that they should worship. And then during this particular time, it's believed that this is during the Maccabees' reign. And all right, when you get right there to the Maccabees' reign, it's kind of confusing, or it could be confusing. Some people believe that this is when you have a combination of the Gentiles that which did follow the Hebraic faith. They followed the religion. They kept the covenant. They knew it better than us. But they weren't bloodlines, descendants, the E1, B1A. They weren't, they didn't have a single forefather like we did. All right, so now going back to when it was all broken down from Judea, now it's captured. So Judah was captured, that later turned into Judea again, but then they renamed it to Israel and all of this particular type of stuff. Then we go into this brother here, most definitely, like I said before, a lot of individuals out here that actually are very informative, and they share, period. Sorry, so I saw that, I got a delay. But anyway, this gives a description of who the Negroes were and not the Negroes. Let me move this. I got to move my box for a minute. It's in the way. Stop. All right, and then this is just to give an or a little particular, I guess, insight of what color these people were, at this particular time. However, if he is not the father of the Negroes, Ham, that makes Negroes some other kind of black people, shouldn't it? That means that the descendants of one of the other brothers, Shem, because Japheth was already pointed out, to be a lighter skin, must have also been black or dark skinned person with descent, with the descendants that are black or dark-skinned also. By deduction, since Japheth is known to have been the father of the light-skinned or European people, that leaves us with Shem as the father of the Negroes. So when the word was speaking about Ham and he's the progenitor of the dark races, and but not the Negroes, he was basically just saying that the Negroes were a Shemitic descent that was going to come from Ham, that was going to reveal itself a little later, and we actually did. All right, now clearing that up, or just speaking on that a little bit, then we go into looking at the heritage or the individual areas in which different things did occur, and we were actually deported, and well, slavery right when it was getting ready to kick off. Okay, let me boost this screen up a little bit. There we go. All right. Like I said, this is Binyai Israel. He gives a lot of information that's very informative, and I like dealing with the different things that this brother mentions because he comes straight from text. So you can find, if you're, and when I take certain books that he, or certain things that he said, or I compare it to the word, and it actually lines up with the words, so therefore you can kind of follow with him, what he says. And just like, you know, Big Judah and other individuals that actually give it up to our brothers, as far as the knowledge that they possess for different things and backing different things, and what they believe in. Sort of like what I did. Well, basically, that is what I did. All right, so the particular, this is right here, Spanish and Portuguese Jews were black, Yaya Negro, and the transatlantic slave trade. Different names for Spanish and Portuguese Jews while they were in captivity. All right, this, like I said, when Judah fell, this really is where the bloodline of King David went. The bloodline of King David went here. Under Roman rule. Under Roman rule. Under Roman rule. They went there. For the Spanish and the Portuguese, Spain and Portugal. Spain and Portugal, that's where they went. So when the bloodline of King David fell, Yaya Negro and Judah were the individuals that was over there in Portugal, Spain. They fought battles for Spain, and then they did different things such as against the Turks and Moors, but I'll just stick to what you could actually see. The post is a combination of numerous presentations and sources that all point to the Spanish and Portuguese Jews being black, expelled to West Africa, and then sent as slaves to America and to the four corners of the world. But some also chose to flee to the New World as well. Or you get Gadites, Gad. These sources are key because of the Spanish and Portuguese Jews said that they are the descendants of King David during a time when 70 AD, when it was sacked and they was over there, that's where they went. They actually had land over there in Seville. Basically, you could find information or proof on that where they were sent, or they had particular areas over there in Seville under certain literature that's out there. One book is H.M. Green. Salafi. One is H.M. Greenhow on the people of Oud, page 71. H.M. Greenhow on the people of Oud, page 71. And he speaks about that as well. So like we go back to the different times in the regions, like I mentioned before. When I can find it. All right, here. And then we look. This is during the different times. Oh, remember when I said about the Maccabees? They came later. A Jewish tribe, the Maccabees, voted Jewish, Jew-like, voted against the Hellenistic occupiers. Hellenistic occupiers, and from 142 BCE and the following 80 years, Judea once again was an independent state, or Jewish state, meaning that they still try to carry it to where they're the people of the day. But anyway, then you go into the particular era of 70 AD. Like I mentioned earlier, when the destruction of Judah actually occurred, or the final Judah, Benjamin, and Levi were finally destroyed. The Roman Empire, Titus, pushed or squished or destroyed yet another Jewish rebellion. The Jewish temple and the rest of Jerusalem were reduced to rubble. They killed as many of our people as they possibly could. It was so many people of our people being killed. It was blood running everywhere through the streets, people on fire being, man, it was just crazy. A group of especially persistent Jews sought refuge on the mountains of Mazda in a desert near the Dead Sea, but were 3 years later defeated by the Romans. So the Romans, like I said before, they went in and they got everybody and sent them over into slavery. And that was the end result of that. So now you have the transatlantic slave trades going on. The Sahara slave trade already started. That's from the northern region of Israel when they was captured and sent into Samaria. Then Babylonian forces conquered, and then our people started getting shifted off just all over the place, to where nobody really had no sanction and nothing, no safety and nothing. And we go back and we look at the prophecy of each. And the sons, it kind of speaks for itself. Reuben, one of the 12 tribes of Israel. Although Reuben was Jacob's firstborn son, he lost his privileges and the tribe was given over to obscurity, meaning that he did something he wasn't supposed to do. Reuben was rash and was guilty of committing adultery with Bilhah, his father's concubine, and his brother's mother. So his father's concubine and also his brother's mother. Then we had Simeon. Simeon was to be scattered in Israel and later became one of the weakest of the tribes. They were mainly absorbed into Judah or by Judah and lost their identity. So Simeon became Judah, or merged into Judah, which made Judah get bigger and stronger. Then you have Levi. Levi will be divided from the tribes of Israel. Simeon and Levi were guilty of murdering the men of Shechem and were therefore reprimanded by Jacob. The Levites were destined to be the priestly tribe who would not receive a tribal inheritance, meaning they wouldn't get any land or nothing like that. Now we get to Judah, and the mother to Judah and all of the ones that are, they're listed right in this area, up and down this column. But Judah was to increase the strength until Shiloh, until the Messiah came. The right to rule would not be departed from Judah. David, King David, descended from Judah. Yahweh Shah, which is the one that Yahweh Shah would descend from the line of King David, and he would and was called the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the Messiah, the Lion of the tribe of Judah. Judah's name means praise. Actually, Judah's name doesn't mean praise in ancient Hebrew. Judah's name is Yahweh Da, and that means praise Yahweh. That's what Judah, Yahweh Da, Judah. Yahweh Da, Judah means praise Yahweh, for she shall praise Yahweh. So she named her son Yahweh Da. Leah did, but anyway. Then we go next down to Dan. Although Dan was given a small inheritance, they would become a leading tribe, shrewd and clever, though they would be predators. So Dan was like a predator. Catch the weak, they gone, or they hit any of them Naphtali. They would be free from they will be free and prosperous in Salathia. They will be free and prosperous. And later they were privileged that the Messiah will begin his ministry in their region and light would dawn. Meaning that the Messiah taught, that's where he came up, in their area, and that's where the word was first starting. The Messiah was starting to be witnessed as who he was. The Messiah. Gad was to be a victim of invaders, but they would ultimately triumph. Their inheritance was east of the Jordan and subject to plunders. Now, that makes me wonder, because all right, let's say that basically it is true that Gad was, I guess, the American Indians. And if they were the American Indians, then wouldn't they fall victim to plunder? But the only thing that kind of messed that up is that their inheritance was east of the Jordan. So east of the Jordan, I doubt that that's America, but anyway. Then we have Asher. The tribe, I keep it real, but anyway, the tribe of Asher would enjoy prosperity and the blessings of the Father. Issachar, patience and capable as a worker of agricultural doing peaceful things. Zebulon, they would settle in the coastal regions and trade. They would settle in the coastal regions and trade. They were also privileged that the Messiah would minister in their region when he came. Joseph would be numerous and blessed above the others and receive spiritual prosperity. Good work. Our father worked it out that Joseph's two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, would partake of his inheritance and represent him among the tribes. Ephraim and Manasseh, so basically it's 12, 14. But anyway, Benjamin would be adventurous, well, with two absorbed. But Benjamin would be adventurous and warlike gaining the spoil of war. The first king of Israel, Saul, Benjamin, Saul, and also Saul of Tyrus, Saul of Tyrus, Salafi, Paul the Apostle were among those who descended from this tribe, from the tribe of Benjamin. So I had you guys for a while, so I'm trying to wrap it up with this. And this is basically going into and displaying the 12 tribes of Israel. Where do we go? Who are we? Scattered all around, right? Those are the nations right there. Judah, the Negroes. I am not the progenitor of the Negroes. Benjamin, West Indians. Levi was the Haitians, or are the Haitians. Then we have Simeon. The Dominicans. I like it down in the Dominican Republic. It's cool. Zebulon. Guatemala to Panama. Ephraim, Puerto Rico. Manasseh, the Cubans. Gad, North American Indians. Reuben, Somalian Indians. Naphtali, Argentina and Chile. Asher, Colombia into Hungary. Agwe, Ugaric. I think I'm saying that right. Uruguay. I don't know. Anyway, Issachar, Mexicans. John 23. No, John's 8:32. And ye shall know the tribe, and you should know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Well, basically, these are the particular individuals that composed of the 12 tribes of Israel. And as we see, we are closer to uniting than ever before. I mean, in these particular areas, Judah wasn't able to just travel and go chill out in Mexico or Puerto Rico and stuff like that. We was really, really limited on where we could go. So now that we have the different, by America being so diverse country, that we're able to now to just travel around and see each other and holler at each other, whether it be over the computer or whether it be in person, which is amazing. Like I said before, going into the individuals that put us into this particular captivity that destroyed us as a people and us as a nation, it was different things to where it was all caused by slavery. So now that we don't reach the particular point to where, we've been influenced by the different ways in which we're supposed to worship, ways we're supposed to carry ourselves, in which we're supposed to think. When basically we are natural people. We feel from the spirit. Basically that's what we all do. I do that on a continuous basis, even down to decisions that are probably basic, simple decisions. It's still spiritual with me. I try to keep my temple as pure as possible, so that way the Father can actually talk to me or send me a message. I don't claim to talk to him, but I know he has messages, and I know that there are different spirits that exist: spirit of anger, the spirit of lust, familiar spirits, that everybody encounters throughout particular days of the week, even during sleep. But just increase the frequency with the word. And then once you find that inner peace in a certain level, you'll know how to rebuke any type of negative spirit, even when you first feel it approach your being, your person, your aura chakra, or whatever you believe in. It's basically being tapped into a higher power. There's no doubt that there's only one Father, and he's of powerful magnitude. And the magnitude that he holds it's just like awesome. It's like, is there anything that he can't do? I don't think so. Anything that he will do, like the son said, ask in his name, and maybe he will. Um, just stay blessed out there. Know where you from. Know who you are. Don't worship the graven image. Get rid of that image of who the Messiah is. Because I mean, if you mention a certain name, why not call him his name? Why not call him his Hebrew name? If he was Hebrew, and if his name was Mike, why call him something else? You would want to call him for who he is. Yahshua, Yahweh. Most likely that was what they was calling him back then, and it wasn't. Anyway, with that, I like to say, stay blessed, stay in tune. Again, if you stuck around through all of this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. But like. If you can 1,000 times from the different devices, I'm happy with that. It's like, no, you probably can't. But most definitely, much love to everybody that tunes in, and much love to all of my folks. Much love to the universe, and especially to our Father, the one, the Creator, the one above. To the Abba Yahweh, Hashem HaMashiach Yahweh Shah, Uvein Barakatah Ruach HaKodesh, Elo Yacharat Latir, El Selim, Selim, and Shalom.